And welcome back. Thanks for staying with Morning Live. Now, the week-long Armed Forces Day celebrations has been showcasing the state-of-the-art skills as well as the machinery of our armed forces to the citizenry. Over 8,500 troops and hundreds of Defence Force vehicles as well as aircraft have descended on the Western Cape since the 15th of February. And of course, Leanne Manus, as you saw earlier, is joining us from there. So we're going to cross over to Leanne now, where she is with another guest this morning. Well, what a beautiful sight that is. But with that, it's over to you, Leanne.
Hi, Sakina. It really is a beautiful sight, I must say. A beautiful sight, but a very cold sight. I don't know what's happening here this morning. The wind has picked up and there's an absolutely icy chill in the air, but I know by this afternoon it is going to warm up, so it's going to be a beautiful day. I'm sure about 27 degrees, and everyone is going to descend here to witness Armed Forces Day, and there's going to be a magnificent display that they're going to be putting on here. The President is going to do the main address, and of course, being the Commander-in-Chief of the South African Defence Force, he is the guest of honour that is going to be here today. I mean, just looking out over the ocean, I mean, it's quite incredible. Just in my view of what I'm seeing, I can see there's a submarine there, there's a frigate, we've also got the SS Protea. In fact, there's another frigate there as well. And these are just a few of the vessels that are on display this morning, this afternoon, when the full display and arm of the military is going to be out. It's going to be absolutely incredible to see what it is. In fact, I'm going to talk to Simphiwe Dlamini. He is the head of communications for the South African Defence Force, to tell us a little bit about what can be expected and a little more about this entire week that it's been going on. Since the 15th of February, it's been incredible, hasn't it?
Indeed, it has, Leanne. We've had a full week of a program packed for the people of the Western Cape. And I must say to you, Leanne, the reception in the Western Cape has been overwhelming. Yeah. We started in Khayelitsha on the 16th with the fan park. Fan park comprises of a static display of our military capabilities, and we also have career exhibitions. We also have a sports clinic for kids. We also even have health programs for them, and the whole community of Khayelitsha and the surroundings have been attending in huge numbers. So there's the kids and the parents and everybody around that area has been exposed to the South African National Defence Force and what it can do.
It's quite interesting to see that, you know, this moves around. It's an annual event. Last year was in Kimberley. The year before that, I think, was in KZN in Durban. So you move inland, then coastal, to show all capabilities.
Yes, Leanne, when we took a decision to embark on this celebration with the people of South Africa, we had to ensure that we cover the entire country, because the National Defence Force, by its nature, has a national responsibility. And therefore, it was incumbent upon us to make sure that we cover every single province and expose ourselves to the South African public in all the regions and the provinces. This year we're in Cape Town, having been in Kimberley, which is inland. We're now in the coastal area. As you correctly point out, it's a beautiful place, beautiful day, and there will be a lot of demonstrations from seaborne that the President as Commander-in-Chief and the invited guests will be witnessing.
Amazing. I mean, you were telling me that, in fact, what's going to happen is different simulations, and one thing is going to be what would happen if South Africa is attacked through the sea. So you're actually going to demonstrate something like that later?
Yes, Leanne, one of the reasons we actually have such a program as Armed Forces Day is to actually simulate what would actually happen should we get attacked, either from land, sea, and air. And this is part of that demonstration. What you'll see later in the day is, suppose we had an enemy coming from the sea, what would happen? How would we respond? And this is what we'll be simulating today, this afternoon. It's called a seaboard. What we do, we'll be showing you if one of our ships, a commercial ship, was to be hijacked, for instance, by the pirates. We will simulate what we would do to rescue them. And our assets from the air and land will be there participating showing exactly what we're going to, what if a problem of this nature happens.
So really showing the military capability of South Africa, which is what this is all about. We as South Africans, obviously, as a normal citizen, sit by, we watch this, we sort of sit in awe and think, oh, how amazing, this is great, this is fantastic to watch. But from the heart of the military troopers, what does this mean to them?
You would be amazed at how passionate they are when they do such, because they would love to showcase to the South African taxpayer what they are capable of doing and how they can be protected and be secured. So it's a passion they will be showing to the South Africans, and they believe in themselves, and they want South Africans to believe in the South African National Defence Force capability in terms of securing the territorial integrity of this country and making sure that South Africans are safe in their own territory. Yeah. Beyond that, we are a commercially based country when we receive goods, when we trade. Most of our trade routes is through the sea. So we have to protect our oceans. We have to protect our sea routes. And this is what you will be seeing today. Yeah. So it's a passion of ensuring that we want to showcase to South Africans what we are able to do.
One of the big issues, obviously, is it doesn't matter where you are and what sector. Budgets are always a big problem, and we do know that the military is facing major budgetary issues. So having an armed forces day, and people look at this and see that this is an expense to do. What are the benefits? Why do something like this that costs a lot of money?
Leanne, let me take you a step back. Military, by its nature, is very expensive. It's an expensive institution. However, we need to show South Africans, in our case, in this new democracy, what the South African National Defence Force is capable of doing. Now, there are two things here. What you are seeing here during Armed Forces Day is preparing ourselves should there be anyone who wants to attack South Africa. This is basically a simulation of if an attack were to come from the Western Cape. We are in the north, east, and west, and in central South Africa. How do we pull our troops? How do we pull our capabilities to come and defend South Africa from the Western Cape? We've brought in heavy-duty vehicles from Bloemfontein and from Potchefstroom. Should anything happen that demands that, we are able to know what we're going to do immediately. We're not going to start planning and say, ooh, what do we do? Because we've simulated by coming to the Western Cape. How many days it has taken us to be in the Western Cape? How many troops have been brought here? What logistics are we involved? So if anything or any attack happens, we know exactly what to do. So this is part of the simulation of what to do to defend this country. But more importantly is to expose South Africans and interact with the South African public. What is the SANDF? Who are they? What do they do? Why do they exist? And interact with those people and ask and answer those questions. Yep.
Thank you for talking to us. Enjoy the day. Simphiwe Dlamini is the head of communications for the South African Defence Force. And if you're here in the Blouberg area, I mean, get down here. I think it's going to be... Can the public come through and watch? Or is it just invited guests?
In fact, Leanne, when we had the night shooting in Muizenberg, we had close to about 20,000, 30,000 people.
You're joking?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, Leanne, the Western Cape Town public has been overwhelmingly supportive of the SANDF. It's excitement right through.
Wow. So, okay, so get down here.
Yeah, let's get down here.
This is where it's all happening today. It's going to be magnificent. Okay, so I can suddenly feel the chill is starting to disappear because the sun is coming up and it's shining on us, and I think it's going to be a beautiful day with a lot of displays. SABC cameras are up. We're here. We're ready to bring this all to you live through the day, and no doubt covering the President's address as well as the Minister and all the other dignitaries that'll be here. But the excitement coming from the sea as well. Well, that's it for us here this morning. The rest of the show will be coming from Johannesburg. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to hand you back to the Johannesburg studio now.